Do you know why many of you resent your partners so much? Well, it is because you keep putting their needs and well being ahead of your own, and you keep making sacrifices for the sake of the relationship that do not serve you. You don't know the difference between a sacrifice and a compromise, okay? You've given up on your job, you've given up on yourself, you've blocked your friends, you've given up everything that you like. You don't have any hobbies anymore, you don't talk to your family members anymore because you think that's what makes a marriage work. Well, I am here to tell you, I know we've been told you need to sacrifice in a marriage. No, you do not. We have compromises and we have sacrifices. I know there is a thin line between the two which can easily get blurred. So I want us to look at both of them real quick, because one of them brings you closer to your partner and the other one causes you to lose yourself slowly, which ends up affecting the relationship in the long run. So both sacrifice and compromise require someone to give up something, but in two different ways, okay? A compromise involves you meeting in the middle to solve a problem. Each person gives in a little or a lot. Win-win situation. While a sacrifice requires you to give up something to meet the other person where they are at, okay? Regardless of whether they reciprocate or they give back or not. A sacrifice is a solo act. A compromise is mutual. Now, which one of those are you doing in your marriage? A sacrifice will eventually cause resentment. A compromise won't. When you compromise, you're going to notice that you feel valued and understood, which promotes mutual respect in a relationship. I'll give you a good example. For example, if my partner likes movies and I don't like movies, and he likes, I like fishing and he doesn't like fishing, we take turns, okay? We decide that, you know what, this weekend we'll go to the movies because that's what makes my partner happy. And then the next weekend we'll go fishing because that's what makes me happy. See? Win-win situation. Now that is a compromise. That's how it looks like. It doesn't hurt anyone in the long run. Now let us look at an example of a sacrifice in a relationship that could easily lead to resentment. Imagine one partner giving up their career opportunity or a personal ambition to support the other person's goals. Okay, for example, you relocate to a new country for your partner's job, you leave behind your career, you leave behind your family, you leave behind your friends, you leave behind everything that means everything to you to just go support your partner. You see, over time, you may start to feel unappreciated and regretful, especially if your own needs and goals are not acknowledged or fulfilled. This can lead to feelings of resentment if you perceive the sacrifice as one-sided or unreciprocated. And this is what's happening to many of us, okay? You give up your job, you're working in a bank, you're a manager, and now you have 8 children. Your partner is now the manager of another bank, and for you, you've been home for the past 7 years. You've given up everything. You're not talking to your friends anymore. You don't even know what's happening. You don't identify as Sharifa anymore. You're Mrs. Gundi. You don't have, nothing is going on for you because you are taught that a sacrifice is what makes a relationship work. No. A relationship can only thrive if you're not the only one compromising. Okay? So right now you need to start by putting down a number of things you should never compromise on or sacrifice on. Of course, these differ from one person to another because we have different levels to which we can tolerate certain things. And a few things that come to mind while I speak right now are, you should never ever sacrifice your happiness, whatever that looks like to you, as long as you're not hurting anybody, okay? You should never sacrifice your goals and dreams. You should never sacrifice your self-esteem, your spirituality, your beliefs, your freedom, your inner peace, your boundaries, your health, your self-respect, your identity, your family. You should never sacrifice your other relationships, your hobbies, the desire to explore, the peace of mind, your personality. Let me tell you, if you want to know a healthy relationship, get this. A healthy relationship will never require you ever to sacrifice many of these things that I've just listed right now. Do not selflessly sacrifice. It will cost you. It is very risky and it usually has no return policy, okay? A compromise though, yeah, it will cost you, but guess what? It's typically refundable, okay? If a compromise doesn't work, you can always take a step back and try something else. So we are preaching healthy relationships. This is how you get to know a healthy relationship. Many men have given up so much to just be married. Many women have done the same to just stay married because we've been told that this is what makes it work. No, I beg to differ. But even when it comes to compromises, there are certain things that you should never compromise on. And this takes us back to, do you have boundaries in place? You have some non-negotiables in place where you're like, you know what, I love you so much, but that will not fly with me. Let us start there. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.